ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశారు? Who installed OS on your laptops, guys?
I installed, sir.
Very good. What about you guys? Yatish, I know it. His laptop having an issue. So today he is resolving that issue. What about Maresh? Maresh, నువ్వు ల్యాప్టాప్ తెచ్చావా?
ఉంది సార్.
ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసావా OS?
నెట్వర్క్ ఇష్యూ ఉంది, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేస్తాను మరి.
So user administration. What is that? Guys? User?
Administrations.
So how many users while creating the OS, right? So which user is created by default while creating the OS?
Root user, sir.
Putti antunnao?
Root user, sir. Root
Yes, root user is a
super users.
very good super user. The other user in the
నార్మల్.
yeah, so in the home directory, something like in the Linux file system hierarchy, right? So we have a slash root and slash home. Slash root is the root user home directory, right? Slash is the root user home directory. Something like slash home normal user home directory. Okay, so means so root user home directory is slash root. So what is the normal user? Who are the normal users, guys?
హోమ్.
Home is a normal user, huh?
We are all are normal users, sir.
Oh yeah. So normal users home directory will create under which directory? Slash home
Home directory.
Home directory.
slash home Sindhu, huh? Slash home Maresh slash home Yatish, right? Slash home BLUJAY slash home Hari. Okay, so these all are the normal users home directory. Okay, so normal users are Sindhu, Maresh, Yatish, BLUJAY, Hari. These are all the normal users. Root user. Root users. Root user's home directory is slash root. Root user is created while installing the OS. By default, it created while installing the root user, right? Yeah. So how many users? So we can create in a Linux machine. So how many users? 60,000 users we can create it, guys. How many users? 60,000 users will create in the Linux machine. Linux mission CentOS 7, right? So 0 to 999 are the system related users. System related users. 1000 by 1000 onwards. Normal users. Okay. Normal users ID will create by 1000 onwards. Guys, understood? So what is this, guys? What is UID? What is GID? What is UID? UID is nothing but a user ID. GID is nothing but a group ID. So if you create any user, right? Any user or any group, it will create a ID, unique identification number. UID, GID, group ID. Okay. That's understood, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understood, huh?
Sir.
Very good. So user administration, all user UIDs, GID starts from 1000 by default. Or users UID, GID starts from 1000 by default. UID, GIDs are 60,000. 0 to 999 are the system itself users. Root user UID is 0. What is the root user UID? 0. ID root. So what is the ID of the root? UID is nothing but a user ID. GID is nothing but a group ID. Groups. So what is the UID, guys? 0. Root user UID is, what is the UID of root?
0, sir.
Very good. Normal users will start for 1000 by default. Okay. For example, so UID of Sindhu is 1000. Right. UID of Maresh is 1001. Okay. So UID of Yeth is equal to 1002. Okay. UID of Hari something like Hari wants a specific fancy number, right? 1 0 1 0 1 0. Right. We will create a specific JD also. We'll show you. Guys, understood? UID, GID. So for a user account, primary group is mandatory. If you are not assigned any group, user himself behaves as a group. Every user, Hari user, Sindhu user, Yatish user, Marish user, every user having a primary group mandatory. Primary group mandatory. So for example, so Sindhu is the user. Sindhu, Sindhu is the user. Sindhu user, primary group. Sindhu is related to which group? DevOps group. So something like Linux, engineer group, cloud engineer group. Okay. So Sindhu primary group is, so what is the primary group of the Sindhu? Sindhu primary group is DevOps and the secondary groups. The secondary groups of the secondary group is something like a Linux and cloud engineer. So Linux and cloud engineer. This is the a primary group. What this is, guys? This is a primary group.
Secondary groups.
Secondary groups. At least a user having a primary group, one primary group, and so we can assign any multiple. We can assign any multiple secondary groups. So multiple secondary groups, at least one primary group and a multiple secondary groups. Okay. Sindhi user. Understood, guys? Yeah. For example, you are not assigned to any group. User itself as a itself as a group. For example, if you are not assigning to any group, so it will create a Sindhu group, a group name created as a Sindhu. What is the group name? The group name created as a Sindhu and assign it to the Sindhu. That is nothing but a root. Root user is root. Root is not assigned to any group. Any group. If you for a user account, primary group is mandatory. For a user group, primary account is my primary group is mandatory. If you are not assigned to any group, user himself behaves as a group. If you are not assigned to any group, user himself behaves as a group. User himself behaves as a group. Okay, guys, understood? User add Hari. User had Hari. ID Hari. Okay. So Hari is not assigned to a primary group is mandatory, right? If you are not assigned to any primary group, user himself behaves as a group. cat/etc group. You see? If you are not assigning to any primary group, user himself behaves as a group. Understood, guys? Yeah. So how to create the group? Group add, create a system group. For a user, it may be a primary group or a secondary group. For a user, it may be a primary or a secondary group, and all the groups information will be available under the /etc groups. All the all the groups information will be available under the /etc group add to create a system group. So for a user, it may be a primary group or a secondary group, and all the groups information will be available under the /etc group. The group information will be available under which directory, guys? /etc
/etc
group. Okay, /etc group. So I'm adding group add DevOps. Okay, group add Linux engineer. Group add. Right. So you see cat/etc group. The group information will be available under, right? So Hari group is created. If you are not creating any group, user himself behaves as a group. So Hari is 1,000. So left later DevOps is 1,001. Linux engineer is 1,002. I want to create a specific group ID. You can use group add-g gid group name. Group add. You want to create a specific group ID. If you are not creating, if you are not mentioning any group ID, it will automatically create the group ID from 1,000, 1,001, 1,002. If you want a special group ID, so you can use -g JID something like one. So I'm giving 1111. The name call it as a cloud engineer. What is that? Cloud engineer group. I assigned a so the fancy number of JID/etc group add. Sorry, group. Right. You see, if you are not assigning any group by default, it will add something like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 for it. So if you want to add a specific group, you can assign a specific group by using a -g option. Which option, guys? -g option. Group add HR, group add -g. So something like, okay. So more on /etc group or a grep HR as it is a group. So fields in the /etc group. What are the fields are there? So what are the fields, guys? The fields are, yeah. The fields are, the first field is group name. What is the group name, guys? Cloud engineer, Linux engineer, DevOps. These are the group name. JID is the group ID. What is the JID, guys? 1,002, 1111, 1,001. Next, secondary group members. We are not added any secondary group members. That's the reason it is showing empty. Okay. So hyphen. So this is nothing but a group. So the fields in the group. What is that? Fields in the group is this. First is the group name, group ID, and X, and the secondary group members. Okay. Next. Next. So you understood, right? How to create the group add. So you want to create a user. How you can create the user? By using the user add command. Which command, guys? User add is nothing but a create a user, right? Create a user. User add is nothing but a create a user. User del is nothing but a delete. User mod is nothing but a modify the account. User modify the modify a user. User del delete a user. Guys, understood? So user add, user mod, user del, user add, user del, user mod, user add, user del, user mod. User add is nothing but to creating a add to create a user. I want to modify the user. You can use slash etc user mod. Sorry, you if you want to modify the user, you can use the user mod. If you want to delete the user, you can use the user del. Okay. Yeah. So what is the information? What is the information? The user information will be available under the which directory, guys? /etc pass wd.
Slash group.
So /etc in the /etc pass wd, the user information will be available under the /etc pass wd. Yeah, and I want to create the password for that users. So in the which command we can create the password? We can create the password by using passwd. What is the command, guys? Passwd username. So what is that? Set the password for the username. Set the password for the set the password for the username. Set the password for the username. Password username. Right? So if you want to set the password or if you want to reset the password, you can use passwd username. Passwd username. Okay. So I want to change the something like the user, right? In the real time, every user will reset the password within 90 to 180 days. Which days, guys? 90 to 180 days will change the password in the real time env. So 90 to 80 days will change the password in the real time environment. So we'll change the password in the real time. So real time environment, right? 90 to 180 days in the real time. So right, something like how you logged in as a Windows user, something like Yatish Sindhu, right? In the real time, what they are creating the policy, they are creating a policy something like 90 to 180 days. You can change your password. You can change your password, right? The same way, if you want to create change the password, something like how many days it will show, the show it 70 days warning. So something like your password will be expired in 7 days, your password will be expired in 6 days, your password will be expired in 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. Then after your password will be locked. You need to raise a request to the administrator, something like the IT people, for resetting the password, for unlocking or resetting the password. The same way here also, how you can change that information? Change change is the command. So what are the commands, guys? So the password information will be available under which directory? So /etc shadow. So /etc shadow. So the password information will be available under the /etc shadow file. The user information will be available under the /etc passwd. The group information will be available under the /etc group. And the you want to change you want to modify the password, you can use the chase command. What is the command, guys? Chase command. Guys, understood? User administration is very easy. How you can create the user, how you can modify the user, how you can delete the user, how you can create the password or reset the password by using passwd username. Okay, if you want to change the age of the password or expiration, I will tell you. Okay, and So under group add, you can use group add command. So it's very simple, right, guys? Is it simple? Sindhu,
Yes, sir.
Maestro. Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How you can create the user, guys? What is the command?
User add.
User
Yeah.
add.
Yeah.
User
I
add.
want to modify the user. So how you can modify
Mod by using user mod.
user mode? How you can delete the password?
User del.
User
User del.
user del. Yeah. I want to reset the password. How you can reset the password?
Change by using change.
How you can reset the password, guys?
Pass WD usernames.
So
Hmm?
it
Pass
is
WD command. What is the command? Pass WD is for the resetting or setting the password. Guys, understood? What is the command, guys? Pass WD command. Understood?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So user add, group add to create a system group. For a user, for a user, it may be a primary group or secondary group. All the group information will be available under the /etc group. You already know how to create a group and how to assign the specific group ID for the group. So user add. User add is nothing but a to create a new user account. What is that, guys? User add is nothing but a to create a new user account. User add, options, username. So we have a options, guys. User add, if you create the user add, -u is nothing but a UID. If you are create a user add by default, without option, by default, it will get the 1000, 1001, 1000, 2000. If you want to provide a specific UID, you can use the option -u. So -g is nothing but a primary group. Every user having it assigned to a primary group. If you want to assign to a primary group, for example, DevOps, small g DevOps, small g DevOps. So capital G is nothing but a secondary group. Every user having only one primary group and many number of secondary groups. For example, -g cloud engineer, -g Linux engineer. So user add Hari. Hari is related to DevOps. Hari is related to DevOps and something like related to the secondary groups are Linux and cloud engineer. Home directory. So what is the home directory for the user, guys? What is the home directory? What is the home directory for the normal user, guys? Guys, what is the home directory for the normal user?
What?
/home
What?
Sindhu /home Maresh and home /home Yati /home Beje BLUJAY Hari, right? These all are the home directory for the normal user. So whenever you create a user, the user details are going to store under the so the home directory, right? The home directory is something like /d. So -c is nothing but a comment. If you want to provide any comment, you can give it on. So -s is nothing but a shell prompt. What is that, guys? -s is nothing but a shell prompt. So whenever you create a user, the user details are going to store under /etc password. So where we can store the user details? The user details will be stored under the /etc password. /etc password database file, and the user passwords are going to store under the /etc shadow database file. Okay, the user information will be available under the which file, guys? The group information will be available under the which directory, which file? Cat /etc
etc.
group. So this is the group information. I want to see the user information. What is the command? Pass wd. Pass WD is nothing but a to see the user information, root user, UID 0, bin, daemon, ADM system. These all are the system related users up to 99. So by 1000 default, a normal users UIDs will be started from 1000 defaults. This is nothing but a normal user. User guy, did you observe? So few of the users are showing something like a SBIN no login. Few of the users are showing something like a bin bash. What is that? Bin bash has been no login. Bin bash and has been no login. Shell. What is a shell, guys? We already discussed it, right? What is a shell? So hardware, on top of hardware there is a kernel, on top of kernel there is a shell.
Shell.
How you are interacting with your commands in the shell prompt only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So something like, right, the pending, Sindhu are pending with the to connect with the putty, right? For example, your server is in the uh, Hyderabad data center, Sindhu.
Sir.
Okay. So you want to connect the server daily. So you will come from Kakinad to Hyderabad and daily, and you will connect the server, or you
No,
want to
sir.
connect the
With the
server
help of Putty, I will connect, sir.
with the help of putty. So the
SSH,
putty,
sir.
SSH. The communication is
Secure,
SSH, secure shell.
secure shell. Yes,
By the
sir.
secure shell, through the secure shell, you are connecting. You are
Yes.
connecting the server, right? Shell. So if you have a bin bash, then only you can connect the server. So if you have a sbin no login, okay. So what is the other shell, guys? Has been no login. Has been no login. If you have a bin bash, then only you can connect the server. Otherwise, you cannot connect the server.
Sir,
Okay.
what is a bin bash, sir?
Bin bash. Your commands will be. So where is the commands? Where the so you are executing the commands, right? So commands will be available in the which directory?
CFD, sir.
Commands in the Linux file system hierarchy. Root user will execute which commands? Bin and sbin
S
commands.
bin, yes, sir.
Okay. Bin and
Only bin will be executed by normal users, sir.
very good. Bin. So now you understood what it contains. Bin. Bin contains commands. What is this command? This is a bash command. What is this bash? Bash is nothing but a born again shell. What is that? Bash is nothing but a born again shell. If you have a bin bash, then only you can log into the shell. Otherwise, if you have a no login shell, right, you cannot log into the shell prompt. I will
Oh,
tell you. Shell is used to interact with the system to know how many cells are available in slash etc cells. So cat slash etc cells, if you see how many shells are available in here, cat slash etc shell. Okay, cells. So what are the shells are there? SH shell, bash shell, born again shell, user bin shell, user bin bash. Okay, these are the shells available in the Linux environment, CentOS. So bin bash is the default shell for all the Linux Unix users. What is that? Bin bash is the default shell for all Linux Unix. So sbin no login is a special shell which gives no interaction with the system. What is that, guys? Sbin no login is a special shell which gives no interaction with the system. Generally, all the service user accounts are assigned with this no login cells. So service users, right? System related users from 0 to 999. 0 is the root user. Root user having the bin bash, and the other ones has been no login. All the system related users are will not interact with the system. Will not interact with the system. I will show you that thing. User add Sindhu pass WD. How you can set the pass WD? Pass WD Sindhu. Okay. Red hat. Red hat. User add Yatish. What is that? User add Yatish. Pass WD Yatish. Red hat. Red hat. Okay. So these guys are slash etc pass WD pipe grep hyphen I. What is that? Bash. So what are the user having bash? Sindhu users are having the bash and Yatish using having the bash. So I want to modify a Sindhu user. How you can modify, guys? User mod hyphen yes uh, yes bin no login Sindhu. I'm modifying the Sindhu user as a has been no login. Let's see again. I'm executing this command. Right. Yeah. cat/etc was wd. You see, Sindhi user having the which shell, guys? Has been no login shell. So Yatish user having the bin bash shell. Let's try to log in first Yatish. Okay, Yatish is the account. Yatish Red Hat. Yeah, Yatish able to log in the server. Okay, let's see. Yatish having the bin bash, but Sindhu having the has been no login. Let's see. Sindhu is able to access the server or not. Guys, tell me, Sindhu is able to access the server or not?
No, sir.
No, no, sir.
Because of
No login.
yes, been no login. So which shall we provided? We provided a has been no login access, right? Let's try. Yeah, you see, it's automatically closed because of Sindhu is unable to access the server. Let's try to change the Sindhu user as a bin bash bin. Okay, I'm changing it to bin bash. Okay, now let's try to access Sindhu. Red Hat. Okay, is Sindhu is able to access or not? Guys,
Sir, yes,
Yes,
sir. It
sir.
will.
yes, right. Now you understood what is the difference between has been no login and bin bash. Now you understood? Guys,
Yes, sir.
understood?
Yes, sir. Yes.
grep has been no login etc password to see the users with no login shells. Yeah, we able to see. Yes, echo shell. Do you know which shell you are working on? Which shell you are working on? Guys, I already told you, right? Echo is a print method in the shell prompt dollar $shell shell. Which shell, guys, you are using? You are using bin bash shell. Understood? Guys, understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understood, right? Option, yeah. To assign a password for the user account, password, username. What is that, guys? Password, username, passwd options, username. So L is nothing but a lock the password, U is nothing but a unlock the password, D is nothing but a delete the password, S is nothing but a status. S is nothing but a status. User add user one. It will create a user add. User add -u. What is this, guys? -u is nothing but
User. Unique, sir.
yeah, guys. 1 second. Yeah. So user add -u means, guys, tell me. -u is nothing but you are setting a specific UID. -g is nothing but a primary group. 1 second, guys. Okay. User add. So user -u is nothing but you are setting a specific UID. So you are you are assigning a specific primary group. So you are assigning a secondary group. This is the primary group and secondary group. We are assigning both the primary group and secondary group at a time. And the user add has been no login user 6. You already know, right? This one. -c is nothing but a so comment. So you are providing a comment for this one. Okay. So fields in the /etc password. What are the fields? So instructor, what are the fields, guys? The fields are, these all are the fields, guys. What this? These all are the fields in the right. Instructor. Who is the instructor? Yatish. Second one is, so UID, you see. So first one is username. Second one is password. X is indicates password. So the third one is UID, user ID. Fourth one is group ID. Fourth one is group ID. So this is user info. There is no user info. This is the home directory. What is that, guys? 6 is nothing but a home directory. So 6, 7, bin bash. What is that, guys? So bin bash is nothing but a shell prompt. What is this? This is the shell prompt. Guys, understood? Yatish, password, user ID, group ID, and user ID info, and the home directory. And next, this is 5, right? 5, 6, 7. Now you understood, right, guys? So what are the fields in the /etc password? Username, password, user ID, group ID, user ID info, home directory, shell. So fields in the shadow file. Shadow is nothing but a password, the password information, right? The password information will be stored under the passwd /etc shadow cat /etc shadow. What is that, guys? /etc shadow root to bin. So what are the users created? Hari user created, Sindhu user created, Yatish user created. These all are the password information. What is this, guys? This is a password information. Yeah, Sindhu, username, password. Second is, this is the password. This is the username. Second one is the password. Third one is the last
Group by
change password. What is that? Last 3, last change password. Fourth one is minimum number of password change. Fifth one is maximum number of password change. And the warning is the, so sixth one is the warning. And seventh one is the inactive. Eighth one is the expire. Okay. So username, it is a user login name. Password, it is our encrypted password. And last password change, last changed password. Days since 1970, that password was last changed. The minimum number of days required between password change. That is the number of days left before the user is allowed. The maximum number of days password change. Password is valid. After that, the user is forced to change his or her password. And warning, the number of days before password is to expire, that user is warned that his or her password must be changed. The inactive, the number of days after password expires, that account is disabled and expire. The days since Jan 1, 1970, that account is disabled. That is an absolute date specifying when the login may no longer used. Okay, something like the some of the guy is joined as a contract employee. So he worked for 365 days. After 365 days, his account will be expired. You can set the account expiry information. Okay, guys, understood?
yes, sir.
Yes, right? Yeah. So this is nothing but a user information. User information. Guys, understood? Yeah, user mod, you already know, right? To modify the user account properties without deleting the user account. User mod, options, username, options. If you want to change the UID, you can change it. If you want to change the primary group, if you want to change the secondary group, if you want to change the shell prompt, if you want to change the comment to the home directory, login name. Okay, add a user to the multiple secondary groups. User add -g -a user. To remove the user from the secondary group, g passwd -name, username, group name. User del. To delete the user account, user del options, username. Options -r is nothing but a recursively delete everything. -f is delete forcefully if the user account is logged in. Okay, user del user1 removes the user account but not won't delete the his data. His data is nothing but a, so this directory. So if you use just user del command, it will delete the user, but it will not delete the home directory of that user. If you want to delete that home directory of the user, you can use the RF, removes everything related to the user. Okay, the default user administration options are available in /etc login.def /etc default user add. So when we are creating a user account, /etc password is the user database file, /etc shadow is the user password file, /etc group is the group information file, are going to update. The home directory create as, the home directory create as /home username. The user mailbox is created as a var spool mail username. The UI ID username with this you will get a user along with the group's information. Finger username, it will gives you the user info. Chase command, change user password expiry information. What is that, guys? Chase command, chase command, change user password expiry information. The chase command changes the number of days between password change and the date of the last password change. This information will be available, is used by the system to determine when the user must change her password after relogin. Chase options username. Chase option 0. If you see the 0, right? Chase -d 0 hurry, that the prompt user to change the password at post login. Okay. So chase -l hurry. So it will give the information. Chase options username. -d is nothing but a set the date of the last password change. Set the account expiration. I is nothing but an inactive user. L is nothing but a the show account again information. Yeah, minimum number of days password change, maximum number of days password change, set the warning, set expiration warning days. Okay, so chase hyphen. Yeah, so what is the information of the password, guys? Last password change, November 29, 22. Password expires never. Password inactive never. Password expires. Account expires never. So minimum number of password change 0. Maximum number of password change 99999. Number of days warning before password change 7. So if you want to change, right, we can change it. You see, before never, but you change it to Jan 28, 25. So the account inactive, when it will be inactive, February 2nd, 2025, because of 7 days. The minimum number of password change, 0 days, never.
7 days,
The max,
7 days.
yes, yes. The maximum number of days between password change, 3 days. The number of maximum number of days password change, 60 days. Every 60 days, we need to change the password. The warning is 5 days. Okay. So it is, if you want to change the user information, you can change it by using this. Okay. Guys, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is nothing but a user administration. Guys, understood? Easy, very easy, guys. Just user add, user mod, user del, pass WD, chase, group add. The information, the password the information will be available under the group information will be available under the /etc group. The user information will be available under the /etc pass WD. The password information will be available under the /etc shadow. Okay, guys, understood? Any
Okay.
doubts? So group, is it easy or not, guys? Sindhu, easy unda?
Easy ఉంది.
Yes, sir.
సింధు బాగా చదవండి, మారే సింధు చదవండి చదవండి.
Yes, sir.
ఉమ్,
చదువుతాం, సార్.
చదువుతారు ఎప్పుడు? Yes, I uploaded the document. Okay, so you guys just watch this pic before going to watch the recording, then you will understand, guys, easily. Okay, got you
Okay, sir.
guys? థ్యాంక్ యూ గైస్. ఎనీ
Okay.
డౌట్స్?
No, sir.
నోనా? ఈజీగానే ఉందా?
కొంచెం అర్థం అవుతుంది సార్. మళ్ళీ వీడియో